This is Smoking Out the Closet. Now, here are your hosts.
Looking for something to do this summer? Smoking Out the Closet is proud to sponsor the Pittsburgh Cannabis Festival again this year. The Pittsburgh Cannabis Festival wants to bring a focus to the utility of cannabis, to educate people, and to bring a sense of community to the area. You can join us at Allegheny Commons Park August 13th from noon to 5 p.m. There will be a wide variety of booths from medical growers providing information to local artisan hemp products and much more. Come for the cannabis community and stay for the food with a variety of food trucks. Admission to the Pittsburgh Cannabis Festival is free. We'll see you August 13th at Allegheny Commons Park.
Hi, I'm Rayven. I use she, her pronouns.
Hi, I'm Asmodeus. I use they, them pronouns.
And welcome back to another episode of
Smoking Out the Closet.
For those of you who are new or just joining us, we are a queer podcast.
Pun intended.
That talks about cannabis,
The LGBT community,
and everything in between.
and beyond.
So welcome.
Welcome.
Our cats are wrestling right now.
They just got a new cat toy scratcher thing because we had to go get cat litter. And I was like, man, I was like vacuuming and I was like, we should get a new scratcher. And that's how I remembered we needed cat litter. But they love this thing and I put catnip on it.
So we did say in the last episode that we were actually going to do a recording on like back to back before our trip from Jersey. And then we remembered how our schedule actually looked. So we're like, oh, let's just do it when we get back from Jersey.
Yeah, we don't have to schedule to record 2 episodes real close together.
Yeah, we don't have to like kind of trust ourselves then right before our vacation either.
Yeah.
So here we are.
We ended up, this is Monday the 7th, and we came back last night from New Jersey as of recording this.
Do you want to talk about Jersey a bit?
You want to talk about the strain first?
Oh, yeah.
Blowing. Yeah, fuck the weed. Anyway, I wanted to try this because I haven't tried Madder Flower in a while, and I heard this Wookies strain was pretty good, and I think it was all right.
Mm-hmm.
So it's Wookies from Madder. The top few terps on here. They don't list all of theirs. Excuse me. But they do list a decent amount of them. So, like, limonene is at 0.5069%. Myrcene is at 0.4248%. Linalool is at 0.4256%. Caryophyllene is at 0.3319%. And everything else is under 0.1%.
Mm-hmm.
THC on this guy is 25. THCA is 25.653%. And 0.976% THC. And it has a decent amount of CBGA in it as well. So it's at 1.187% CBGA. Which, I like this.
Yeah.
What did I tell you? I gave it a 3.75 because I was like, 3.5. It's all right. And then I was like, but it's pretty good. I don't know. I wouldn't give it a 4 though, so I split the difference.
I give it a 3.3 out of 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it looks pretty. It tastes good. That's all it really has going for it for me. I'm not really feeling, like, I'm feeling high. But I'm not feeling much of the medicinal effects from this. I'm just kind of feeling high. And that's it.
Yeah.
And from the terpenes, I don't know. I'm having a lot of brain funk right now from the strain.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. It's a very, very, very deep head high for me, which is okay. But, like, I'm not feeling anything with the limonene.
I'm not feeling any of the uplifting much of it either. I think maybe more for me, like, the effects of, like, it tasting good and, like, it's smoked well and just the ritual of it all was nice.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I do feel like it was a little calming for my anxiety. I feel a little bit more grounded. But like I said, that could be like the ritual of grinding and using, and we were talking and stuff too, and
Like grounding mindfulness or something like that.
Yeah.
Like
But
a mindfulness task.
we were just skirting around. I can't remember what this is.
It's on the tip of my tongue what this phrase is.
It's the practice of being mindful, and I can't remember. There's a phrase for it. If you're listening on Spotify, give us a comment and reply to us what this is, because I can't remember.
Yeah, leave us an audio message or, hit us up on our social medias or email us.
Don't carrier pigeon, that'd be weird.
I mean, it'd be impressive, though.
That would be impressive.
But Falcon? Sure. Okay, so now we talk about
Jersey.
Oh, it was certified Midz, by the way. The
Midz.
strain's certified Midz.
Midz.
So we went for a really, really, really big. I want to. At this point, it's very much queer culture. I would argue. But we basically went to a Rocky Horror convention in New Jersey.
Basically, we did. We went to Rocky Takes the Garden State.
Mm-hmm.
And there were, what did they say, 30 different casts there.
Yes, 30 different shadow casts.
National shadow casts.
Yeah, now in the United States. All from different corners of the state.
Yeah, all different corners of everywhere. Like, there were 3 I didn't know about. One of the third casts from PA.
Yeah, I didn't know we had a third cast.
There was Philly, there's JCCP, and then I can't remember their name, but it's really cool. I remember it's really cool. They all have really cool names.
Yeah.
Buffalo, our friends from Buffalo were there. But yeah, their local cast that was hosting was super cool. Their theater is amazing. Their
Friday Night
Specials has one of the best theaters. Like, I love the Hollywood. It's nice, it's cozy, it's cute. I like it. But the theater they have there, oh my goodness.
Well, I don't know if that's their home theater or they just got that as a theater to use for the con and everything.
Yeah.
But man, the Brook Theater is beautiful and old.
And they serve alcohol, which alcohol and Rocky have had a history.
Yeah, true.
Mostly because, you go on obscene things and alcohol into the mix, and people think they can say things that they shouldn't say, and
yeah.
Which I only heard a couple questionable callbacks. Nothing real gross, nothing real dirty, nothing.
Just more of, you've seen shit on the internet. You've seen how people can just be dumb without a filter sometimes.
Or even if you check old callback scripts that are around on the internet. They have old jokes and they're outdated and not really
very passable to say in today's world. Yeah. Not saying that's a bad thing. I'm just saying, like, we don't let certain things fly like they used to then.
Yeah.
But no, it was real fun.
It was so much fun.
I will say, can we talk about our first 2 days in New Jersey?
Yes, please. Oh my goodness.
So we went to Atlantic City, New Jersey.
Yeah.
Spent time at the beach and everything.
On the boardwalk.
There's a lot of LGBTQA plus stuff on the boardwalk.
Yeah.
A lot of cool, local, you got your saltwater taffy. There was ashtrays. There was so many cool, weed-related stuff there.
High, spelled High from New Jersey, because New Jersey's wreck now. That was fun. I got a picture of myself smoking a joint on the boardwalk. It was great.
I will say, my favorite... We smoked quite a bit on our trip.
Oh, yeah.
But my favorite actual sesh we had was actually the first night. We're on the beach. It's starting to get sun's setting in the distance. It's getting late.
Mm-hmm.
You could kind of starting to feel like starting to get cool and everything. And it's not dark yet. It's like just the beginning of sunset. Um, like the sky starting to turn orange and everything, and it was just a beautiful sesh. Just sitting there, smoking a joint in New Jersey at the ocean, literally watching it and the waves come in and
And
everything.
you're watching the sky change colors, and like I think there were still a couple fishing ships out on the horizon out there, and it was just so beautiful and calm.
Yeah, it was a wonderful time. The boardwalk had a lot of stuff for like weed,
Oh yeah,
bongs, pipes, joints, rolling papers,
they had pre-rolls in a
lighters.
couple of those shops. I was like, shoot, I didn't know those were here. I probably would have grabbed one of those.
They're
while we were
probably
there.
like Delta 8.
Yeah, they're yeah.
But I mean,
Who knows? It's rec, so it could be anything. But
I think they're still like licensing is kind of hard.
Hear me out. I've been on the boardwalk before, but in Maryland, they have some shops that are weird with laws and stuff because you're supposed to have a license to sell contacts. And there are places that sell contacts that are for costuming that aren't like certified. You're supposed to be sold, and people sell them on the boardwalk. So it might have been
true.
Who knows what those were? Also, just saying, buy your weed from people that you know where you're buying shit from, dispensaries, trusted people's.
The guy where you've seen him grow everything.
Exactly. Not some sketchy boardwalk shop with a pre-roll. Beside the like glitzy, fancy lighters that are like guns that you pop open and they have like the butane thing, and they had a little bit of everything in all those shops, so it was crazy. Also, those adult slushies were really
they were good.
I should not have gotten that second one. No. Rayven.
That's fine. Don't mind my text notifications. But one thing I did think was really cool was it looks like it was closed, but there was like an ice cream CBD shop. You can get like just infused ice cream, which I thought was really cool.
Yeah, CBD infused ice cream. That would have been real cool if there were non-dairy options.
Oh gosh, right?
That'd have been great. I love ice cream.
Yeah, and then we got some really good crab legs while we're on the boardwalk too. In the next night,
that place was so good. They had a buy one get one for a pound of snow crab legs.
Yeah, so you got two.
You got 2 pounds for $40. I was like, holy, that's $20 a pound for crab legs. That's unheard of. It was nuts.
It was so worth it.
So good.
I felt real bad because I don't know what was going on with me at that night. I was just not feeling the 100% for some reason.
I feel like you should have put sunscreen on. I think that was a lot of your problem too, is because you just soaked up so much heat and sun.
I might have just gotten heat sick.
Yeah, because when you started shaking, I was like, okay, you need to eat, and you've been in the sun entirely too long. We're not going to be in the sun anymore. That's why I was like, the outside pool at the hotel was short-lived, because I could feel myself burning again, and I'm like, I can't do this.
Yeah.
I just stopped hurting.
I got hella sunburnt.
Oh my goodness.
Tan lines I have never had before in my life because transitioning.
She did not wear any sunscreen either.
Oh,
I wore one layer and then
you were the least sunburned out of the three of us. I think it's funny.
That is kind of funny. I rotated myself too.
True.
The back of my knees though are so burnt, and then now they're like itchy, and I don't know why the back of my knees just sunburnt so bad. I also had prior sun exposure. I got burnt pretty bad when we went to Kennywood.
Yeah.
On my shoulders, so.
And then the next day we went to more interior New Jersey.
Yeah. More middle of the state.
Yeah, more upper middle. And it was nice. I will say the convention was very nice. I got to meet so many people, so much Rocky Horror merch.
I just sat and listened and like There was commented on the like, oh, you guys are kind of quiet, aren't you? And I was just fucking starstruck the whole time I was there. I'm not gonna lie, because there are people who've been doing this their whole life that were there, and I was just like, oh my goodness. Just I probably just looked like a kid in a candy store. Like you could see like the heart eye if I was a cartoon character. But just all of the people there were just awesome. And like everybody's so passionate about what they do and like
and it's very, very inclusive of a lot of
absolutely.
people. There's so many like trans and non-binary people there, like lesbians, gay men, bi people, pan people, like so much representation there. I think we asked Mia the one jokingly, being like, "Is there anybody who's straight in the Rocky Horror Shadowcast community?"
I think Buffalo had one straight person last I knew because we had a brunch together. Buffalo and JCCP did.
Yeah.
And if any of you are listening somehow, I think I might have talked to one of you. I'm sorry, I was very drunk at the time. But I do remember talking to someone in the Rocky community about the podcast, actually. Which I thought was fun. But yeah, please let us know if there are any straight people left in Rocky.
Because like, and not even that it's a bad thing. It's kind of become a very big queer thing. And I mean, don't get me wrong. The idea of like, breaking the gender norms and everything, and having like basically at the time a bisexual encounters would probably, I would kind of lean more towards pansexual.
Yeah.
But like people, going after like different people with different genders and having this big experience, it is very queer.
Yes,
very
absolutely.
queer, very queer coded, very queer written.
It's written by a queer person about their journey and being how they felt being a person that is outside of the gender binary. And it's weird to think too, because I was talking to Mia and they made the comment of like, it's great seeing different people get those awards, because apparently it used to be all like white men getting those awards and shit, and like leading casts and things, which diversity has been it was so crazy and cool and amazing to just see all the different people that come together for that movie,
and the different performers and everything too. And it's not just like Rocky Horror or Shock Treatment, but like it's expanded now to like shadow casting like different movies, like they did Mamma Mia.
That was fun. We came in at the right time for Mamma Mia.
I got a migraine, so I didn't see that, unfortunately.
I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't super excited going into it, but I was like, they're gonna make it fun.
Yeah,
I know they're gonna make it fun, and I also had a drink, so I was like, it's gonna be fun, and it was fun. It's ABBA. It's ABBA the movie.
Yeah,
the plot of the movie is very loose and weird, but the songs are great.
And I feel like it's really kind of becoming like a very big thing. Is like, yeah, you've seen a movie like once or twice and you're kind of like, okay, but you see a shadow cast do the movie, you can watch a shadow cast, and I have like 10-20 times, and each experience is going to be a little different.
No two shows are ever the same,
and that's the fun of it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you may know all the words by heart right now at this point. There's people who've seen it over like 1,000 times.
Yeah.
And I want to get to that point.
I do too. I would like to try to calculate out the Rocky shows. Starting now, it would probably be easier to start now and then keep track. Going back through my calendar of all of them that I've seen and like keep track of like how many.
Yeah.
I think I've also there were a couple shows we got ticket stubs for, and I think I kept them.
And it's really nice though, because like you see so many people, like there's friendships, it's kind of like a family. Like we were there for the in memoriam service, and you and me were crying because we actually, we're in the fandom, but we're not in like the shadow casting community, and it felt like one big family because you could just feel everybody like getting sad and like
The emotion,
emotion.
especially when they were showing videos of the people who had passed talking about Rocky
Mm-hmm.
and how it's been such a big impact on their life, and they found even people who were there at the con said they have found people that the best things of their life came out of Rocky.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing that didn't stick around, like the things that didn't stick around and came to pass, and people they met and whatever. Anything of substance came from the Rocky community,
Mm-hmm.
and like I feel that. I can feel that.
It is beautiful.
It is.
We got to hear about the guy who he was one of the in memorials and got the Atlas Award. Sal,
Can't remember Sal's last
I
name.
want to say it was like Parino. I'm gonna look it up.
But the guy who started it all, going to Rocky with his friends, and watched it a bajillion and a million times, and they just started talking back to the movie and having fun.
Sal Piro.
Sal Piro.
I was close.
Yeah.
And he was the one that started the Rocky chant. Right before, after you do like teasing the virgins and everything, and right before the movie starts and everything, you're like, give me an R,
R.
give me an O.
Oh.
And you go through that, and the what's that spell kind of thing. They showed a video of him doing it, and it was like back in the late 70s, early 80s, and I'm just thinking, wait, my dad used to go to Rocky Horror Shadowcast shows and watch them.
I wonder if your dad's ever met Sal.
I don't know if he would ever met Sal, but he would know the chant by the time he was going to like Rocky shows.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of funny, like that's a big bonding thing for me and my dad now.
I'm sorry, I'm tearing up over here.
But like there was also like Rocky Horror families I've seen there were like the parents used to be in Shadowcast and their kids in a Shadowcast. How one group who got the Atlas Award restarted a community in an area that it was lost, and they are parents, and like they are raising their kids, are not showing them the shows till they're old enough to watch them, but still like letting them kind of slowly easing them into it when it's age appropriate, and also just kind of that's a part of their family and their story, and if their kids want to go into it, they have all these tools already for them, and I think that's cool.
That's really cool. I was also listening because there were I was behind a few of the actors in line when we were waiting to go see Rocky from different Shadowcasts, and they were talking about how like things get passed down through the casts. Like if somebody has worked on something for like Columbia, perfect example, Columbia's jacket, right?
Mm-hmm.
If they've been working on it and they hand sequenced it and everything, and they'll hand it down to like some kid who just started, and they're like, here you go, I got another one, or I bought and made another one and I don't have a use for this, or I outgrew it or whatever. And I'm just like, that's just aw, like my heart. Aw.
And I noticed some of like the JCCP, like if they're missing a piece and someone's got one that's similar, they'll share pieces.
Mm-hmm.
And
like wigs or like costume pieces or whatever if they can, and it's just they're just a gorgeous group of people.
They really are. This is probably a really dumb idea, I want a group to shadowcast the producers.
That would be cool.
It'd be really funny to me because that is right, like Rocky Horror, it was a theater production, and then a movie. Yeah. So I want to see the shit, the whole at the same time. Mamma Mia was too. So wait, hang on. Now I'm thinking about everything.
Rocky was, Mamma Mia was.
Repo was. Maybe.
Yes, question mark.
Shock treatment wasn't.
Shock treatment wasn't, no. Clue was not.
No.
There's a 2002 musical of the same name that the movie is based off of. So yes, Repo the Genetic Opera from 2008 is based off of a 2002 musical production at the John Ritt Theater in 2002. So it was called The Necro Merchant's Debt, which told the story of a grave robber in debt to the Repo Organ Man. What if there were... It changed a lot. The story kind of stayed similar, like Amber and Luigi and Pave. Were the same characters. They were like their character stayed the same, but their relation to each other changed from like the theater to the movie. Apparently, I'm gonna have to go into dive into that rabbit hole. That's gonna be fun.
But like, there's a decent portion that they shadow cast that is, one of those things that has been done in both sense of theater.
Yeah.
So I think that'd be really cool to do, something else like that.
Speaking of theater, there have been, I was talking to Mia, and there has been a resurgence of people who are like theater nerds and like go to Broadway shows that have gotten back into Rocky. Like that's become the Rocky community. It's just people who are into theater, which it makes sense.
It does. It makes a lot of sense.
I heard some of the cast had went up to New York since we were close and went to Broadway and saw Broadway shows, and I was like, I haven't been to New York in a while, but also New York is so many people.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can do New York anymore just because of the way my anxiety is.
I feel like once I get the weed situation figured out.
Yeah, they need to figure out their weed situation, then maybe we can talk, because that'll make it a lot easier to deal with.
What was I gonna say? I can't remember. Is there anything else you want to add about the trip? Oh yeah, we smoked with a lot of people. There was a lot of weed.
We smoked so much weed. There was so much weed.
I thought it would be funny, so I got New Jersey Guest Man.
And you rolled so many cones. You stuffed so many cones.
Yeah.
I went through just shy of a whole ounce. Because I had a quarter of Star Killer Shake.
Yeah.
From Terrapin. That was pretty good, actually. It was mostly Keef, which was crazy. And then I had an eighth, untouched somehow, of Mandarin cookies from Kind Tree that I just brought with us. I also brought another eighth, but it was the Lemon Kush Headband CBD as a backup in case I ran out, which I almost did.
Yeah, I had a lot just set aside and ready.
I brought RSO. I didn't use it.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn.
I thought about it. I had 2 grams in my bag.
Yeah, we got a lot. There was like people with bowls and everything. There was one person who goes, "Oh, we were just a little nervous." Like, it's New Jersey. No one gives a fuck.
Yeah.
It's legal here.
It's legal here. Nobody cares.
Like, oh, okay.
They were a local that lived there. I was like, hey, all right, cool, whatever. The smoking section filled up hella fast.
Yeah, it did. The trash cans kept getting like fake mustaches.
Oh my gosh! And then the googly eyes started, and then there were the ducks.
Yeah, little
tiny
plastic ducks.
There was a rainbow dick on the trash can at one point. I don't know where that went. It disappeared right after I took that picture.
Theater nerds, I tell you.
I thought about taking it. I didn't take it, just so you know. I thought about it, though. That was 3D printed, and I could probably find it on Thingiverse.
I bet you know who made that then. Yeah, because there was a guy who walked around who had like a beer koozie that he 3D printed.
Oh my god, yeah, it was
a lighter. It had a lighter.
It was the same filament.
Yeah.
As the koozies.
That was cool.
Those were neat. Lighter and like vape holders.
Yeah, I need one of those to get our 3D printer fixed.
Yeah, Thingiverse. I've seen those. The models for those.
You good for a break?
Yeah.
All right. We'll be back after a quick message. Pretty in pink and purely wood pulp derived, Blazy Susan pink rolling papers and cones will add a pop of color to your next smoke sesh. Their classic pink papers are naturally dyed, vegan, GMO free, and food safe. They contain no amounts of heavy metals or pesticides unlike other paper producers. Care about what goes in your lungs with Blazy Susan papers and cones. Use promo code BGSOTC20 at checkout to get 20% off with your friends at Smoking Out the Closet. Plus, get free shipping on orders over $50 in the United States. And we are back. Going into our first big topic, we're a little late on this, but I think it's very important to talk about. Mastercard is moving to stop use of their debit cards at cannabis shops. I think it's pretty nationwide, if I recall correctly. But I'm very curious of what they're going to do for Canada and Mexico.
Yeah.
Because both those countries are legal, and a couple other countries are. I think MasterCard's in most of those countries. So it'd be very hypocritical for them to stop it in the United States when they're benefiting from it in other countries.
I mean, the thing about it is the federal legality of it in that country in which their transactions are being made. Simply because banks are in this weird gray area where they're technically not supposed to be doing business with cannabis institutions because it's federally illegal and they're federally funded banks. Don't know what credit unions have up their ass about our debit readers, at least at my dispensary, but they don't like us either. Mastercard, this is just them covering their ass. If they do say, like Canada, since Canada's federally legal up there, right?
Mm-hmm.
If they say, Canada, you're allowed to use our cards, that is just them saying, we don't want to get in trouble.
Yeah, and according to a quote here, we were made aware of this matter and we're quickly investigating. A spokesperson for MasterCard made in a statement, in accordance with our policies, we instructed the financial institutions that offer payment services to cannabis merchants and connects them with Mastercards to terminate the activity. And I think this is because you were saying, because it's not federally legal here in the States yet. But here's my thing. I think the reason why it's not more of covering their butt, it's more of they're not making money like they could be.
Yeah.
Because the way debit card readers work in the cannabis industry is they're not really like charge cards, more like little ATM terminals. And because that's how they're running everything, they don't have to have like we have to have it above X amount to run this because it's a card reader. And so because they don't have to do that, MasterCard's not getting their beak wet.
Yeah, they don't have any money coming in from them basically saying you can use this debit reader to do transactions. Mm-hmm. It's just because of the way that the way that the debit card readers, like you said, are in the dispensaries, they're not making money, which is totally valid too. Like, it's just their move is going to be, if they do this everywhere, if they're just like no more cannabis transactions period, because that's a whole different thing.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure if they are actually allowed to do that. But if they're going with the legality of everything, then they can. That's how they can get that around that.
it's kind of disheartening because it makes it easier and safer because this is basically just leaving cash in the mattress, instead of going to the bank, and it's already so hard and everything for us. Like, why make it fucking harder?
These are large transactions. There are rarely transactions at any cannabis facility that are under $50.
Mm-hmm.
Like anything over $50, 50 to 100, you get a handful. Anything under $100 is going to be a drop in the bucket compared to all of the other transactions you make throughout the day. They're large, several $100 transactions, and that's a lot of cash.
And it also kind of depends on the state how much product you get for that.
Exactly.
Because fucking New Jersey for flour, that's like an eighth and a gram.
Yeah.
Of flour.
Nuts.
Ridiculous.
That's if you're buying flour. If you buy pre-rolls, which is weird, because pre-rolls are cheaper out there, you would think the flour would be cheaper and the pre-rolls would be more expensive.
I think it's because the flour's full bud and the pre-rolls are pretty much shake.
But the pre-rolls are better flour than the flour you buy out there. At least from looking at like the lab reports and shit.
Yeah. It's weird. New Jersey's weird. Hey, someone from New Jersey, if you're listening, tell us why that is if you work in the industry.
Make it make sense, please. We'd like to know.
But yeah, like some states, it's ridiculously expensive, even for recreational or even for medical.
Yeah.
And so, heck, PA is getting better, but it's still pretty expensive compared to other places.
Absolutely.
And then you got the taxes in some areas that make it just as bad as medical here.
Yeah. I've been telling, like, you've been telling patients too, and I've been telling them, if we go rec, keep your card.
Mm-hmm.
You are going to spend less on renewing your card than you are for the year than you are on taxes on recreational cannabis.
Yeah, and if the current bill that's being proposed goes through and passes, you get home grow.
Yeah.
Which I think is dumb. Only medical patients get that, but like, I think everybody should, to be honest.
It's a fucking plant.
Yeah, like, fuck off.
Grow your fucking cannabis with your tomatoes. Canamatos.
Canamatos? Is that like the tobacco tomatoes that Homer made in The Simpsons?
Yeah, but it's cannabis tomatoes.
But that's all I really had to say about the Mastercard. They're not really doing anything other than really kind of just being very inopportune in a bad time.
Making things difficult.
They are. Is there anything you wanted to bring up?
I have a topic.
Yeah, go for it.
So you had actually sent this to me, and it's pretty cool. It's from NPR, M as in Mary, not N as in Nancy. PR News, reducing the carbon footprint of the cannabis industry, and they're talking about Minnesota and how they have just went recreational.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like it might not be great news for the climate. 2021, study found that growing an ounce of marijuana indoors can result in greenhouse gas emissions equal to burning a tank of gas. So as the cannabis industry continues to expand, how can it reduce its massive carbon footprint? Also, I'm very curious where that comes from. There's nothing cited. It says Ari Seaman, the CEO and founder of OG AgTech, as well as COO of C4, has shared new technology he's developed to help farms become more sustainable. It's a plant, though. How are you releasing carbon emissions?
Well, okay.
If it's a plant, if you're growing plants.
Well, that's the thing, though, that a lot of people don't think of. And the Honeybee Collective had a very good, like, little thing to do with Brian Box Brown. That, think about it this way. So you got the building itself, building that, cranes, trucks, all that, that's CO2 emissions.
Mm-hmm.
So say they have a building for the grow, all the, air, the HVAC systems, all the machines to keep the plant growing in certain ways, the lights, all the electricity that's being used. That's a carbon footprint. of whatever amount.
I also keep forgetting a lot of the electricity is powered by like nuclear power plants. They're horrible for the environment.
Nuclear just isn't the worst option, to be honest, and we can recycle a lot of it.
Well, it's good that we can recycle a lot of it, but there's still a lot of like waste and byproduct from nuclear power plants. Like they've gotten better over the years. It's also, I don't know, scary to think that thing can just blow up.
Yes, that is the worst.
That could just blow. It could just fucking blow up.
Honestly, the byproduct and waste that's being generated is basically just something else that can also be used. Or they dispose of it by burying it underground in water. There's no dirt being, obviously the digging up and everything of uranium and all the reactors and everything. I'm not a nuclear physicist. I just knew a couple guys, and I'm parroting things that I heard like over 12 years ago. But a lot of it is, other than just burying it or digging it up and finding it, it's not like fossil fuels where burning it puts chemicals in the air, like coal or gasoline and everything. They don't really have to refine it. It's just kind of there.
Okay.
The refining process is what makes the power.
Yeah.
In a sense. But the Honeybee Collective, our friend Chris from them, the Colorado-based company, who are doing things like packaging was a big thing they brought up. Because take Pennsylvania, right? All our packaging is made out of plastic or metal, in some very rare instances.
Glass,
cardboard,
things
that aren't really recycled very well or often, but because it's medical cannabis, it's considered medical waste, so they can't recycle it.
I hope you can hear the air quotes.
Yeah. They can't recycle it, air quote, because fucking PA doesn't really recycle either.
And some of the quote recycled plastic, air quote, is it's recycled, but it's not going anywhere after that because, like you said, you can't recycle it anymore.
Because some companies don't even do anything with it.
Yeah.
Like there's very little demand company wise for getting plastics. That's why there's some small like college run companies, like they start in college and actually start a thing, who are taking the recycled plastics. There's not a lot of people who are doing anything with it.
Yeah.
But then but like here, PA, we have to bury it.
Yeah.
And like that's not great for the environment, No. So, say an eighth of flour you get in PA, you get it, you use it. Okay, cool. Now you gotta throw it in the trash. It's gonna go to the landfill, and it's gonna be in there for the next 100 years. And aliens from the future can dig it up and go, "Oh, hey, look, this person had a weed."
Yeah.
This person had a weed.
This person had one weed.
But there are companies who are using like metals that can be recycled and are showing initiatives of doing it and doing all the work themselves and everything to recycle.
That's why I like to reuse those little like tubes. You can use those for joints. You can reuse little strain containers for things.
And it's try to once I get it figured out and how to do it and get everything, I'm going to start recycling plastics to like use for filament, because you can do that. You can literally just melt it into filament.
Yeah, all the 2-liter bottles and everything. I'm looking at that Blazy Susan cone container right now that's on the table.
Yeah.
That you totally could turn that into a jumping spider enclosure.
Oh, yeah.
You can like turn it upside down, drill some holes in the top of it, decorate it, turn it into a jumping spider enclosure.
but like there's so much we can be doing, and cannabis industry is very lacking when it comes to recycling. It's one of those where a bunch of industry tycoons come in and go, well, we'll figure it out later. It's like, yeah, the best option, in my opinion, is glass.
Yeah.
If you're going to have a jar for flour and shit, because, then you can crush that, break it down, and turn it to, like, whatever.
Or you can just sanitize it and reseal it.
Yeah, I've seen
people... Sanitize it, reuse it, reseal it.
I have seen people use them as spice jars.
Yeah.
Or, like, they make their butter in it. Or, hell, turn them into candle jars.
Yeah, I had one in my car for a while with wax melts in it when it would get hot. And
Yeah.
it had holes in the top of it, and then it would just smell good in the car.
Yeah, so there's a lot, because like even just like farming does have a carbon footprint, because using the machines to, like, let's say you're in California, you got the sun grown in the field kind of flower, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not even taking the packaging, just farming that does have a footprint as well. It's not as bad, but there's still a footprint, because then you have like the tractors and the trailers and everything to go and like, and how do you get the water out in the field?
Yeah.
Like there's so much that like not a lot of people think of that goes into it, that pretty much almost everything has a carbon footprint, unless you do it all yourself in your backyard.
Yeah, unless it's just all you. Actually, you being a human being have a carbon footprint.
Yeah,
because where does your poop go? Where does your garbage go?
Mhm.
Back to the land. We're back at the landfill, everybody.
So it's just that I would love to see the cannabis industry be a bit more green.
Yeah, absolutely.
Altogether.
Absolutely.
I haven't read this one yet, but I was very much to go over this with you.
Okay.
I was looking at it on the car ride home from New Jersey, kind of shifting gears. According to Yahoo, oh god,
Yoo-hoo. I want a Yoo-hoo now.
Yeah, same. We're getting Taco Bell after this.
Yeah.
Not a sponsor, but Taco Bell totally sponsors.
Give us some money.
15 U.S. cities with the highest weed consumption in 2023 from Yahoo Finance. Now, I don't know what they're going to say, but if they say the number one is not somewhere in Colorado or California,
or wherever the fuck Snoop Dogg lives.
Yeah, we were making that joke.
Yeah.
I'm going to be very surprised and very, very suspicious of their reasonings.
Yeah.
So this article is written by Sultan Khalid. Or they pronounce it like DJ Khaled. I don't know how they pronounce it, but sorry if I'm mispronouncing it. But basically they in this article they're discussing the 15 U.S. cities with the highest weed consumption in 2023. Apparently, we can skip ahead to the analysis of the industry and go directly to the 5 U.S. cities with the highest consumption if we don't really want the other ones.
I'm curious about all of them.
I'm curious too. So just talk about the science and everything, and like
the industry
and like
hey, I've been in there.
Methodology. So the data for the article is referenced to the 2023 Cannabis Price Index by the CHFA, looking at U.S. cities with the highest weed consumption. To keep their list relevant, they only selected larger cities with populations of 200,000 or more. Two cities had the same consumption. They ranked it by their industry revenue as the tiebreaker. Okay, so starting number 1 is DC.
Number 15.
Or yeah.
At the bottom. We're going from the bottom up. So number 15, the bottom of the list, is Washington.
Jeez.
DC.
Which apparently has total weed consumption of 2 metric tons. That's a lot of weed.
That is a lot of weed.
Albuquerque, New Mexico.
3 metric tons. Hold on. They have issued 2,000 cannabis licenses across New Mexico, including 633 cannabis retailers, 351 producers, and 451 micro producers, and 507 manufacturers. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's neat. They have little blurbs about each one of the each one of the places. I didn't know you could possess up to 2 ounces in DC. That's neat.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. I don't want to just walk around with 2 ounces of weed, though. That's a lot.
Yeah, but here's my thing, too. Like, is this just the average for a year of how much is being consumed?
I guess so.
Because that's a lot. 3 metric tons?
Yeah.
Holy crap.
That's a lot of weed. Oh, yeah. That's a lot.
That's a lot of weed.
A lot of weed.
I'm very curious to see what the biggest one is.
Is it Detroit, Michigan?
Detroit, Michigan.
Boston, Massachusetts.
Cannabis sales hit record high, profiting more than $221 million in the month of December alone, according to the state report.
Wow, that's a lot of weed. Well, yeah, I mean, it's cold. What else are you going to do?
Boston, Massachusetts, 3.6 metric tons.
Went wreck in 2018.
Wow. Jeez.
In the first 5 months of 2023, gross sales totaled $600 million.
And the first year of non-medical gross sales
Holy shit.
was $4 billion.
Holy shit.
Lincoln, Nebraska. Oh, wait. Going back to Albuquerque real quick.
Yeah.
Now I know I had a joke and I totally forgot about it. And that's why I was kind of like, for a second. Now the Looney Tunes jokes make a little more sense about them taking a wrong turn in Albuquerque. They got too high. Then we got Lincoln, Nebraska, which is to criminalize small amounts. So basically, there's no in-stop state residents, or there's nothing that does not state residents can go from Colorado and bring it back. And it just basically decriminalized it up to 1 ounce.
You can't sell it, though.
Yeah, so
you can have it.
Buy, come back, use it.
Yeah.
And go back out and buy it. Las Vegas, Nevada, which I'm not really surprised.
Is number 10, yeah.
But I didn't know that since the regulated by federal law, casinos can't have any dispensaries. Or their newly approved cannabis lounges, consumption lounges. Seattle, Washington is at 4.6 metric tons.
So much weed.
Collected $515.2 million in legal marijuana income in just the fiscal 2022 year. And Seattle ranks, it's number 9 on the list at the highest. I don't know why it's giving us like, hey, it's also it's in the top 10. I'm like, yeah, no crap.
Yeah, it's number 9.
Portland, Oregon, which is at 5 metric tons with $7 per gram for flour. Damn. Was voted best weed city of 2023, according to a study by Real Estate Witch and Leafly.
Why is Denver, Colorado only a number 7?
I don't know. Famous for...
You're telling me.
Wait. Philadelphia
smokes more weed than Denver, Colorado.
I'm not surprised by that because look at New Jersey.
Yeah, you're right.
They're right by New Jersey too.
So people come over from New Jersey and just smoke weed in Philadelphia.
Decriminalized possession and use of marijuana in 2014, which means although weed is not legal in Philly, small amounts have been decriminalized, so you won't be arrested for minor offenses.
Where's the rest of the list?
Yeah, I gotta go to the other.
The other list of the top 5. Okay.
Phoenix, Arizona, at 11.4 metric tons.
Shit.
Just because we're getting close to the.
Who's number 1? What's up with this pop-up?
Oh, it's in this weird.
Oh, the stupid slide format.
Ugh.
I hate that.
Me too. Okay. I'm just going to kind of go for...
Houston, Texas at 18.5 metric tons.
Holy crap. Chicago, Illinois, not surprised by that one. With 24.9 metric tons. Which I'm not surprised because that's where a lot of MSOs are based out of.
There's a see all button.
Oh. Well, we're already almost done.
There.
Los Angeles, California.
What is that ad?
35. Ignore it. 35 metric tons. And New York City, New York. With website, let me scroll. 62.3 metric tons.
What the heck?
So you're telling me New York City has almost double the cannabis use of
Denver,
California,
yeah.
of any city in California.
What?
No way.
No.
No, there can't be.
That can't be. I can't believe fucking Philadelphia made it on that list.
I can, but it actually ended up way higher than I was expecting.
Yeah.
Is there anything you want to add before we end the episode?
I don't think so.
Is there anything you want to add to that list? Because I'm just in awe, honestly.
No.
No?
That's a lot of weed.
That is a lot of weed.
I was in my brain when you read that number, I was trying to imagine in my mind's eye how much weed that would be. And after like dump truck full of weed, I don't even know how much weed would fit in the back of a dump truck. I stopped looking. I stopped trying to imagine it because I was like, now you're just having dump trucks line up full of weed, and that's so much.
Okay, so 63.5 metric tons of weed is 139,993.536 pounds of weed.
That's so much weed.
Mm-hmm. Now, keep in mind, let's put that into ounces.
How many ounces is
that? 2,239,897 ounces.
That's a lot of weed.
And if you take that... crap. Okay, so it was 2,239,897 times 8. That is 17,919,176 eighths. That's how much people in New York consume in a year. That's
Holy shit.
Lot of weed.
That's so much weed.
That is so much weed.
Holy hell.
Fucking good on you, New York, but goddamn.
Good for you, but oh my god.
Get your shit together. Maybe it would be even more.
Yeah, honestly.
Well, I don't have anything else to add.
I don't either.
Well, once again, my name is Rayven. I use she, her pronouns.
I'm Asmodeus. I use they, them pronouns.
And this will be our last episode before the Pittsburgh Cannabis Festival that will be out. So, for those of you who are going to the Pittsburgh Cannabis Festival, we'll see you there. To everyone else, bye.